Welcome once again to the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us, along with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
A few meetings to talk about, and also a few meetings coming up to talk about in the next few minutes here. Meeting on the 18th, about 40 minutes in length, and a lot of things going on in the city. It's the holiday time, so we'll tell you about those towards the end of the program. We begin, though, with a meeting that happened before the council meeting a few days ahead on the 15th, and this is to sew up the election. Tell us about this annual process that has to happen.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks after the election, we do the canvass of all the votes. And so we kind of wait, to make sure all the information is lined up with Hennepin County and all the votes are in and tabulated. And so we held that meeting that Friday morning, November 15th at 8:30. And it's a very quick process just to review the votes of the election and get that election canvassed.
Very good. Let's go to the meeting on the 18th again, 40 minutes in length. And one of the bigger items at the front and the back of the meeting was recognition of a council member that is stepping off of the council. Tell us a little bit more about Christy and her service to the city.
Yeah, so this was Christy Barnett's last meeting. She's going to be moving out of the state here and kind of starting a new chapter in her life. And so we had the opportunity to honor Christy for her service. She's been on the city council for 8 years and just been a very active member on the council, very visible in the community, attends, a lot of ribbon cuttings, a lot of public events. We can always count on her to be present for those types of things for the business community. She also has been a liaison to the Planning Commission, the Transit Commission, and the former Citizens Advisory Council, as well as a member and vice chair of the Suburban Transit Commission. And that was really a role that she played, up here in the region with all of the suburban transit providers. Active member on the Community Center Working Group, and then continuing with her council service as well. So very grateful to Councilmember Christy Barnett for her service to the community. We were able to celebrate them last evening, but this was her last formal council meeting. She won't be at the meetings in December here. But we're really grateful for her service and her presence. I think it was noted she's always had a presence on social media and trying to make sure that, when things get going out on Nextdoor or one of those other neighborhood platforms where maybe there's some misinformation out there or somebody's asking questions, she would sort of, make sure she was putting out good information. And, that really helps the city, right? Because sometimes things can really get going in a difficult direction and blow into something that maybe if there was some early intervention might not have gone in that direction. So we'll miss her presence out there helping us with that. So just a great public servant, and we wish her all the best in her next chapter.
We certainly do. Next item, community and economic development items. Number one was Maple Grove's new elementary school. We've been talking about this as it goes through the process. Where were we at this last meeting? Yeah,
so this is the new elementary school that'll be kind of up in the northwest quadrant of Maple Grove off of Arbor Ridge Parkway. This was a result of the bond referendum passed by the school district almost 2 years ago here. And so they have been working on not only this new elementary school, we'll talk a little bit later about the high school plan that's coming forward, but nice plan for a new elementary school, about 140,000 square feet. They'll host about 1,100 students up at that new elementary school. This will be open for the fall of 2026 school year, so coming fast here. They're going to work through construction. They think they're going to start probably February timeline to get that construction. So what was in front of the council was to approve the conditional use permit and the preliminary plat for that use, as well as the rezoning. So conditional schools run as a conditional use permit in residential districts, and so that's kind of the process that the school followed. So pretty exciting. Some nice elevations out there if you want to go look on the council packet. I think it'll be a very attractive building. They're going to take advantage of some of the natural amenities up there and do an outdoor classroom, those types of things. There's some woodlands and wetlands that I think work well into that type of approach up there. So a nice new addition to the school, and then new opportunity for folks that are living up in that northwest area of Maple Grove to attend. We know there's been a lot of concern about the student population at Fernbrook being large and Rice Lake and those types of things. So the district will go about the business of shifting some things around now for this new elementary school. So congratulations to the district for getting this one over the finish line, and then we'll talk about the high school a little bit later.
Very good. We'll keep an eye on that process as it moves along. Next, zoning ordinance text amendment related to cannabis. This was first addressed back in June, and you knew that there would have to be a second look at this. Tell us what the discussion was.
Yeah, so just some changes that came through the legislative process, some changes in definitions or clarifying or streamlining some of those things. The other piece was to the city's ability to regulate the hours of operation of those businesses. And so this change in code then sort of formalized those things with what changed in state law, as well as created those hours of operation.
Next item is adjourning to the EDA for a few minutes, a very short few minutes, related to Arbor Lakes Business Park. What was the need for this discussion?
Yeah, so this is one of the buildings out there. Buildings number 3 and 4 are being sold by Endeavor. Happens frequently. We anticipate this in our tax increment financing agreements, that there's a process by which they have to come back to the city and get approval to do that. So building number 3 had an outstanding TIF note of $637,000, so then that passes through to the new owner, and that's anticipated in these types of agreements that there likely would be transactions over the life of that TIF note for that building. So yeah, a lot of real estate movement out there continues in the gravel mining area.
Very true. Report of upcoming economic and community development items. Planning Commission coming up on November 25th. They're going to be busy, aren't they?
They are, the week of Thanksgiving, so they'll have a full agenda. We've got a Boston Scientific expansion over at their existing campus off of Weaver, some expansion to building number 4, that's sort of the building furthest to the north. Lifetime Fitness will be in front of the Planning Commission for their new facility up in the Minnesota Health Village, so kind of just due north of the hospital, west of Home Depot there along 610. Maple Grove Senior High expansion, so along with the new elementary school in Maple Grove, some expansion planned at Maple Grove Senior High, and so Planning Commission will be reviewing that on the 25th. We have a new dental clinic out at the markets at Rush Creek. That's the development out at 101 and Bass Lake Road, and then we'll be bringing back a zoning text amendment on some procedures for neighborhood meetings that the Planning Commission reviewed at their last meeting and had some questions and recommendations for staff, and so that'll come back. So very full agenda for November 25th, that week of Thanksgiving. We appreciate their service that week, and then that of course will come back to the City Council on December 2nd. One other piece that'll be happening in the interim there is tomorrow morning we do have another closed session on the Lifetime deal, just trying to wrap up some final details here and need to talk with the council about that. Anticipated those agreements would be in front of the council on December 2nd, so that's kind of the schedule we're working towards with regard to the Lifetime Fitness deal.
Very good. One other note that was passed along, something very special, a St. Jude Dream Home. Tell us more about this, and you were at the event to get this kicked off.
Yeah, so yesterday morning they had a groundbreaking out at the site. This is in the Evanswood development, kind of up by the new elementary school, that northwest quadrant of Maple Grove. So what this is it's a new construction home that Hanson Builders will build and then eventually sell, and they'll donate 100% of their profit to St. Jude's Research Hospital. So they get donations from a lot of the vendors that are involved with the building of a new home to help kind of boost what goes to St. Jude. So very exciting. This is great to be selected for this, to be part of this St. Jude process. This home will be ready in time for the 2025 Fall Parade of Homes. And this is the first St. Jude Dream Home for the Minneapolis-St. Paul Parade of Homes in this area. So very blessed to be part of that. It was a great groundbreaking. They had some families there that their children have dealt with childhood cancer and were treated at St. Jude's, and so really touching to hear those stories and understand the work that's done there, and that families really don't have to worry about, how are we going to pay for this, or where's the health insurance going to run out. And these so devastating to a family's finances. Oftentimes a parent or both have to quit their jobs and really dedicate their lives to taking care of a child, and so St. Jude really steps in to help during those times. And so great to have this represented in the Maple Grove community. It'll be a beautiful home, and what a great story to tell for whoever buys that home eventually.
True. Next item, Engineering Public Works update, and one update related to the Lake Quality Commission. They meet on a regular basis, obviously, and they have a special event coming up where they talk about stormwater, correct?
Yeah, it's the review of we call it our MS4. It's the Municipal Stormwater Plan. So this is a big function of the Lake Quality Commission. They kind of oversee all things stormwater, lakes and streams, and in wetlands in Maple Grove. And so this is part of their process and important work that they do.
Your update then, you were talking about the farewell to Judy and Christy, and again, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Also, holiday hours. We've got some holidays coming up here.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving holiday, November 28th and 29th, city offices will be closed. And then some adjustments to the transit calendar for the Thanksgiving holiday. Schedule adjustments for the holiday, particularly no service on Thanksgiving Day, and then special route information is available at maplegrovetransit.org. So if you're planning to take service downtown on Friday, make sure you check and see if there's been any changes to that schedule.
And the very end of the meeting, again, was a chance for Christy to say a few words to the council and also all the council members to say a few things about the service, Christy. So very nice wrap up to that meeting. Again, that is her last meeting.
Yes.
And for council member Judy, that will be in December.
That's correct. And then yesterday, on Wednesday afternoon, we did have a celebration of service at the Government Center in the afternoon. A lovely program for both of them. The mayor, our park board chair, Bill Lewis, provided some lovely comments, presentations by our police and fire department, and they receive a plaque on behalf of the city as well as a tree in our arboretum up off of Fernbrook. So all of those presentations were made, and just a lovely afternoon of celebrating their service. They're certainly going to be missed on the city council. It's an important role that they play in the community, and we're grateful for their service and wish them all the best in their next chapter.
Certainly do. So that is the wrap up of the meeting from the 18th. We'll tell you about the next meeting in early December in just a few minutes, but let's hop right into some other things happening around the community. And first is Mayor for a Day essay contest. You have a big partner that helps on this, and this is for young people to get involved.
Yeah, so this is through the League of Minnesota Cities. They accept entries from 4th, 5th, and 6th graders throughout the state of Minnesota. The deadline for submitting that essay is December 13th, and it's all done online on the League's website. It's lmc.org, and then if you look for Mayor for a Day. So we have had in the past essays from our community submitted and recognized, and so just a fun opportunity for kids to think about their local government and what in the community would they look to change or improve, or what would they want to address if they were mayor.
Very good. Hope people can get involved in that. Police coat drive, something that is going on right now, and the deadline's coming up rather quickly here, so you've got some information of how people can help out. Yeah,
through the end of November, you can drop off new and gently used winter coats at the Maple Grove Police Department. There's a drop box in the vestibule of the public safety facility, and that vestibule is open 24/7, so you don't have to try to get there during business hours. And then those coats benefit the Salvation Army Harbor Light Center. So great effort by the police department to help out during the holidays.
Let's hop over to the fire department. A little recap here about the poster contest. You had lots of posters come in, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's the 4th grade poster contest. We love this event every year. Students were encouraged to create an educational poster that focused on the 2024 Fire Prevention Week theme, Smoke Alarms Make Them Work for You. We received 630 posters, so we're going to be announcing winners soon, and there's some recognition for the winning poster creators that they come before the City Council. So thank you to all of the schools that participated, 4th graders throughout Maple Grove, for all their work on this.
Yeah, very fun. Way to go, students, to get those posters in. All right, this is a kind of funny topic to talk about now after the snow we had yesterday, but street sweeping and yard waste. There's still opportunity for the yard waste, but we're not sure about the street sweeping.
Yeah, we kind of shifted into, it was a tough night last night.
Yes.
Some ice and snow, I think kind of a tough road situation. But we were out sweeping streets still over this last few days.
Yep.
And so we'll see how the things go in the next few days. I don't think we're poised for more snow. I think it's going to moderate a little bit here. But yeah, so just, I think I was talking to Derek Lind, the yard waste site operator. I think Monday they had 1,500 cars in the yard waste site. So he said, I think everybody got all their work done over the weekend, and then saw that the snow was coming and thought, we better wrap this up and get this taken care of. So hopefully everybody's made their way to the yard waste site with what they needed, but check their website. They start to, as it starts to snow and that kind of thing, they start to wrap up their operations up there. So just make sure if you're headed up there, just check the website first. But yeah, just kind of that shoulder season here where we're sweeping streets and plowing snow and raking leaves.
It's all happening out there. Also happening in Park and Rec is the winter activity guide, so be looking for that guide here in early December, and there's some deadlines coming up as well.
Yeah, so the registration start date is staggered depending on the activity, but the activity guide will be available to the public on December 1.
Okay.
And then December 3rd is senior programs, December 4th general programs, and then December 5th swimming lessons. And this guide really covers all the programs that run January to April, so it really captures all those winter months.
All right, let's talk about some things you can do right now to get active in the area. One is the farmers market. You've got a couple shopping dates coming up.
Yeah, so we have our indoor markets here coming up for the holiday seasons. Thursday is December 5th and the 19th. Hours are 3 to 6 p.m. We do have about 20 different vendors that are available there, and it's kind of in that common area in the community center. And we do get quite a crowd here as we enter into the holiday time, but encourage people to get out and take advantage of that indoor market this winter.
And if you want to get out and get some exercise, and yes, it's a little icy outside, but you've got a place inside to get some exercise.
Yeah, so the dome is up and operating, so a lot of our athletic teams have transitioned inside to the dome, but the walking track is available during some morning and evening hours. Just encourage folks to check the website to make sure that they know kind of what hours are available. We do have some school activity that happens in that dome as well, but there are hours available to the public, free to the public for walking.
Very good. We've been promoting for a while the Angel of Hope event. We're getting closer to it. Remind us again when that is and where.
Yeah, so this always takes place on Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. It's up at the Angel of Hope Memorial at the Maple Grove Arboretum. We just encourage folks to come out. We always have a nice crowd for this. It's certainly an important event to those who've lost a loved one in their lives, particularly a child. And so sort of a somber evening, but I think also an evening for hope. And so we have representatives from the local faith community that come out and support Park Board and City Council. And so Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. up at the Angel of Hope Memorial.
All right, a good thing about the cold weather coming is the skating loop. So a couple things related to the loop here. First, as far as opening it, what's the forecast on getting that open?
Yeah, so at our directors meeting yesterday, Chuck talked about they're going to start flooding, today, if not yesterday. So that's ahead of what sometimes we can do. So it's been a little cold. This weather helps us out in that front to make some ice. So the goal is to open that up the day after Thanksgiving. So we'll see how the next few days go. Maybe it'll open a little bit early, but look for the day after Thanksgiving for that Central Park skate loop to open.
And then coming up on Saturday, December 14th, a special guest at the loop, and you're invited to come. Who's going to be there?
Yeah, so this is our Skate with Santa event on Saturday, December 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. Of course, free skating, holiday music at the Central Park Skate Loop. You can bring your own skates. We do also rent them on site. And then Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there that evening, along with many members of the Maple Grove Rotary Club. The Rotary Club does all the lighting at Central Park for the holiday season. It's just absolutely beautiful and makes for such a festive environment. So many thanks out to Doug Baines, and particularly from our Maple Grove Rotary Club, who leads this effort. Make sure it happens every year, and all the members who step up to help. So there is a program right at 5 p.m. that evening, but the event takes place from 5 to 8, Saturday, December 14th.
And you might need a guide to keep up on all this holiday activity going on, and there's one out there, Mistletoe and Memories. Tell us about that guide and how it's helpful for residents.
Yeah, so just a great local guide here about all the holiday activities that happen throughout the month of December. Printed copies are mailed to every household, and then the guide can also be viewed online on the city's website. And one of the things that will be highlighted in that guide is our Santa with the Shops event. This is held at the Shops at Arbor Lakes, Saturday, December 7th, so a week prior to the Skate with Santa. Saturday, December 7th from 2 to 5. It's about 3 hours of everything that you could want. Carolers, fire performers, horse-drawn trolley ride. There's kids activities and crafts, selfie stations, food and beverages, and then they do a parade at 4:30 p.m., toy drive for cross services, and then the tree lighting at 5 p.m. Right there kind of in the center of the Shops at Arbor Lake. So fun afternoon over at the Shops on Saturday, December 7th from 2 to 5.
Well, there you go. I think think Heidi and the city filled up your schedule for December right there in the last few minutes.
Yes.
Thanks for all the information again today and the update on the council meeting. Let's leave you with the city's website and also the date for that next council meeting. It will be Monday, December 7th, 2nd at 7:30 at the Government Center. And the website, bottom left there, maplegrovemn.gov. Always a lot going on in the city. That's a great way to stay in touch. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the City of Maple Grove Report.